good morning, class. My name is Ms. Bidden, and I'll be your teacher for the rest of the period. I want you all to take up your papers that's on your desk. I want you to look over it for 3 minutes. Only 3 minutes. Just look over your paper for 3 minutes. First question I'm going to ask, what does it mean when the paper said or place? What does or place mean to you? What is the first thing that comes to mind when it says or place?
Society.
Society. Any other answers? One more answer. What does it mean by or place?
A place where we belong.
I'm sorry?
A place where we all belong.
Okay, it's where you belong. All right. And based on the age, then how should criminal justice apply to teenagers charged with serious crime? How do you think teenagers should be tried?
Less strict.
As kids.
You think they should be tried as kids? Okay. One more volunteer.
Less strict.
I'm sorry?
Less strict. It should be like a little bit, not strict, but a little bit less strict.
Okay, you think they should be tried less strict? What if they commit murder?
Same thing.
You think they should be tried less strict if they commit murder?
No.
Okay, that's your opinion. Anyone else? What's your thought?
Depends on the situation.
Depends on the situation,
Yeah, like if
why the
teenagers
murder
do-
was committed.
Oh, like depends on the crime that they done. Like, we try to adults.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna read. I'll read the first paragraph, and then I'll ask volunteers to read the others, okay? A great number of citizens in our place supported the passage of a state law that calls for teenagers between the ages of 13 and 17 who commit particular crimes to be tried in an adult court as adults. The law also states that if they are convicted, they will be subject to adult penalties. These penalties include execution for murder and prison for crimes such as arson, robbery, or possession of an illegal weapon. Among those offenses, many in our place believe that these punishments will help reduce teen crimes in states. Teens of this age, they say, are old enough to know the difference between right and wrong and should be held accountable for their actions. Before we move to the next paragraph, at what age should they say the teen should be tried as an adult? 13, between 13 and 17. Okay. I need a volunteer to read the second paragraph. Go ahead.
Another section of the law states that a jury trial does not have to be held. Since the defendants are young people, a judge knows what is best for them, and he or she can decide the innocence of guilt or the guilt of the individual. Eric Bears is 14 years old. He has been in trunk from school and in trouble with juvenile authorities since he was 12. One day, Eric broke into the Gadget Barn, which is popular electronics stores in our place. He was seen running from the store with a box containing a video cassette recorder valued at $400. In addition, when he was arrested, he had $1,000 in cash on him. The sum found to be missing when the owner of the Gadget Barn
23 months after he was arrested, Eric came to trial. Under the state law, the judge trying the case decided that Eric would not have a jury. Sharon Fox, Eric's attorney, argued that it was Eric's right under the Sixth Amendment to have a jury trial. This was especially important because he was being tried as an adult. Judge Alice Wright ruled that state law specifically allowed her to eliminate a jury trial if she deemed it was in the best interest of the defendant. At the trial, several eyewitnesses identified Eric as the person running from the store. Attorney Fox produced witnesses who stated that Eric was deeply troubled young man who needed counseling. Judge Wright rejected this argument, convicted Eric of burglary, possession of stolen goods, and grand larceny. He was sentenced to a term of 5 to 7 years in a state penitentiary.
Thank you very much. Can I have another volunteer for the next paragraph?
Fox decided to appeal the case. In her appeal, she argued that the state law allowing the judge to waive the jury trial was unconstitutional. Eric, she said, was being treated as an adult and therefore should have all the rights of an adult. This includes a jury trial as guaranteed by the Sixth Amendment. Fox also claimed that the Sixth Amendment applied to states through the 14th Amendment. This amendment makes clear that states must provide individuals with equal protection of the law. If Eric is being tried as an adult, then he must be given the same rights as an adult has. Thus, he has the right to a trial by jury in spite of the law in our place states.
Thank you. The attorney for the state, Charles Butler, argued that the law considered all this but provided for special circumstances. Considering the age of the defendant, he believed that the conviction should stand. Okay, so who was Sharon Fox? Eric's attorney. Very good. And what is a jury trial? The trial. The jury present. Okay. Any other ideas? Any other suggestions? Okay, a jury trial is a legal proceeding in which a jury either makes a decision or makes finding of fact, which then direct the actions of the judge. It is very different from when the judge makes a stern decision by himself. But the jury trial is when you have more than one individual, a section, like a bench section, and they decide whether or not you should be persecuted, right? So the judge was actually charging Eric and charging him as an adult based on the crime that he's committed. While Eric, his attorney, defended him and trying to say, you know what, he's a minor, and I think he should have a jury, right? Because knowing that the judge is going to try him as an adult, he will just make the decision, giving him the rights of the adult, not as a teenager or a preteen. Understand? Okay, so we're going to take a look at the 14th Amendment. I'm going to read something about the 14th Amendment. Anybody know what the 14th Amendment is? I'm sorry. Have any idea what the 14th Amendment is? Yes?
Nothing.
You can say it.
No.
No? Anyone else? All right, just listen keenly. The 14th Amendment is a very important amendment that defines what it means to be a U.S. citizen and protects certain rights of the people. There are 3 important clauses in the 14th Amendment, each of which are still important today. A clause is a sentence in any part of our Constitution. Citizenship clause. The citizenship clause gives individuals born in the United States, but especially at that time, African Americans, the right to citizenship. Before the 14th Amendment, African Americans could not become citizens, as this limits the rights of those that were able to escape slavery and become free. This clause allows the people born in the United States to be a U.S. citizen. Although this right was established by the Civil Rights of 1866, this amendment made the law permanent, as many feared that the law could be overturned and take away the citizenship of Americans or African Americans. Later on, the Supreme Court protected this right for the children of immigrants and the right of Native Americans to become citizens also was protected on later. Once you have American citizenship, it cannot be taken away from you by Congress or authorities, unless you lie to government during the process of your U.S. citizenship. Otherwise, everyone that becomes an American citizen stays an American citizen unless they give it up themselves. Due process clause, that's the other clause. The due process clause protects the First Amendment rights of the people and prevents those rights from being taken away by any government without due process. Due process is a trial by jury for all people accused of wrongdoing. I'll say that again. Due process is a trial by jury for all people accused of wrongdoing. Although you may think the First Amendment is already protected or protect the rights of the 14th, especially enforce the Bill of Rights on the states to make sure that they can never limit the rights of Americans without fairness. What do you think is taking place here based on what I read and or placed?
When you go to the fully right process, and he's supposed to have a jury assigned to him.
He should have a jury. Because what does the due process clause say? I just read it. I read it twice. It says the due process clause, it says, due process is a trial by jury for all people accused of wrongdoing. So, do you think Eric should have a jury? Yes. And do you? And on the other hand, do you think it's fair for the judge to try him as an adult? Yes. Why? Because the crime is committed. Is there any contrariness that's going on between the two? Huh? Other words, meaning we're saying that one side is saying, you know what, we're going to try him as a teenager, we're going to try him as a minor, and the other side is saying, no, try him as an adult because he committed this crime. He stole something. It is a crime. Do you think he should be tried as an adult for stealing? Why?
It's a high penalty.
It's a high penalty law. What if he was 13 years old? Same thing. Okay, at the time when he stole $400 value worth of video cassette and recorder. That's worth $1,400, and he also had $1,000 cash on him at the time. Do you think there was something going on why he stole the money?
Yeah.
For a teenager, do you think he's just a hard-headed criminal? No? Why you say that?
I can't say that, but the situation, I mean, he's very disturbed. I mean, pretty sad in the household.
Okay, remember the second to last paragraph on the left-hand side, it said Eric Bears is what? He's 14 years old, right? He has been estranged from school and in trouble with juvenile authorities since he was 12 years old. So because he was a troubled child at 12 years old, do you think that it's okay to try him as an adult? Do you know that sometimes at age 12 or even before you reach that age, probably there was something happening or going on in his family, you know, that probably triggers that off. Is it okay? Do you feel okay for someone to just come at you and say, you know what, you stole something and I'm gonna just be hard on you just like that without understanding where you're coming from? Do you think this judge had pity?
Yeah.
You think he had pity? No. That's why Eric's attorney was trying to defend him, knowing that he was 14 years old, and was trying to let the judge understand that, you know what, he's young, and although he was a troubled child, things do happen why students or children do, you know, go to the next level and committing crimes. Sometimes they have immature minds, they think out the box. Do you think maybe if he was like 25, he would have committed that same crime? Maybe not. Why?
Would have been more advanced.
Huh?
Would have been smarter.
Definitely, he would probably know the right, you know, what's right and what's wrong. I know the penalties that would occur with the crime that is committed. Okay, so I want